you son of a bitch. Cause Punch Drunk loves you.
What up? What up? You already know this is Punch Drunk Boxing, aka Mr. Moonshine himself, aka El Adobo, aka El Sazón, aka El Borracho, aka El Café Bustelo, aka El Pastor de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this side of heaven. God bless you all. And you already know that the boxing is very underwhelming right now. Very underwhelming right now. I think a lot of people, especially in America, is waiting for the NFL. They already got the preseason. Ain't nobody talking about the sport of boxing. But at the end of the day, boxing got one fight, one important fight, especially here on this side of the pond. It's an important event and it's an important fight. It is what it is. If y'all been following the channel, y'all know how I feel about this fight with Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford, September 13th, Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada. I've been calling this fight, a mismatch, a masterful mismatch, a glorified exhibition. That's how I feel. It's very hard to change my assessment. I'm a student of the game. That does not mean I dislike Terence Crawford. That does not mean I dislike Canelo Alvarez. I respect both skill set. I admire both fighters. I admire the career of Canelo Alvarez. The 4th division world champion, super middleweight undisputed. His resume is up to par. He has hold boxing down. He has put boxing on his shoulder post Floyd Mayweather. And I know there's people that's been a little bit frustrated with Canelo Alvarez because, of course, we've been asking for the David Benavidez fight. But yet, at the end of the day, even with that fight, that it could be good, and we've been asking for it. David Benavidez is not even a Canelo Alvarez level for him to be shamed by you. But hey, Canelo Alvarez, that's the only true opponent that we've been asking him to fight or to get back with Dimitri Bivol. This is a fight that we was not asking for. I don't give a damn what anybody tells you. I don't give a damn even if Terence Crawford fans come out the woodwork and be like, yo, Terence Crawford gonna beat Canelo Alvarez. Terence Crawford gonna beat him. He's gonna beat. You ain't even think about that matchup before Earl of Truth spins. You ain't even think about that matchup even after Bud Crawford beat Earl the Truth spins, because after the fight, we seen Terence Crawford look straight at Jamel Iron Man Charlo. Let's be real, let's be honest, that this fight came through fruition because of the wet dream of Turkey Al Sheikh, the money man, aka the ATM of the sport of boxing. I don't care what anybody's asking for in the sport of boxing. I don't care for what you want. I don't care about David Benavidez. I don't care. What I want is Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, and that's it. I'm willing to put all of my money, all of my energy, all of my funds, all of my belief, all of my truth, everything for that fight. Let's be real, let's be honest. But at the end of the day, this fight is happening, and I could do, and you could do, but to watch. And because we're the hardcore boxing fans, we're going to watch. And because there's not a lot going on in the sport of boxing, especially in this side of the pond, we're going to watch. And now that it's in Netflix, we're going to watch even more. Because at the end of the day, as much that we could say that this is a mismatch and whatever, I mean, a lot of people's not even saying that. I'm saying it. Not even the bookies are saying it, but I'm saying it. Because at the end of the day, anything could happen in the sport of boxing. And you have that in your mind, in the back of your mind, that anything could happen in the sport of boxing. If I would have told you a long time ago, imagine if a long time ago was today, and we got a fight in Japan that is Mike Tyson versus Buster Douglas, and I would have told y'all that Buster Douglas is going to be Mike Tyson, you would have thought that I'm on my 11th cycle of crack. You would have thought that I was high on fentanyl, crack, poison, marijuana, heroin. You would have called me Pookie 2.0 if I would have told you that Buster Douglas was going to be Mike Tyson. But things happen in the sport of boxing. Just like Andy Ruiz A lot of people didn't think that he was going to beat Anthony Joshua. Just like a lot of people didn't believe that George Camboso was going to beat Teofimo Lopez, right? We've seen upsets in the sport of boxing. We've seen momentum. We've seen monkey wrenches thrown in the sport of boxeo. And even though I consider this a masterful mismatch, I'm talking about a masterful mismatch. Anything could happen. What about if Terence Bud Crawford, I'm not talking about outpoint Canelo Alvarez, because there's people out there that's really, oh, I think that Bud Crawford could actually outbox Canelo. You know what I'm saying? He got he got all the skills in the world. He has a better jab. He got better footwork. He's a better technical fighter. He's he's taller. He's bigger. He wrestles like Hulk Hogan. He's a wrestler too. If Terence Bud Crawford out stops Canelo Alvarez, I'm talking about stop. Shout out to Kid, Karate Kid in the building. What's good, my brother? One of the members of Punch Drunk Boxing. More in the building, in the building, in the building. What's good, man? If you haven't become a member of Punch Drunk Boxing, man, join and become a member. Stop playing around and support the grind. If Terence Bud Crawford, the 4 division world champion, 2 division undisputed, stops Canelo Alvarez, in my opinion, because I feel, I'm not going to say that this is how the entire boxing world feel, but how I feel about this matchup is that will be the biggest upset in boxing history. If Terence Bud Crawford stops Canelo, a guy that's never come even near getting stopped, barely gets even hurt, never got, well, I'm not going to say never got wobbled, but in the past decade, Canelo Alvarez never danced a salsa, merengue, bachata, only on vacation, but never in the ring. He don't even go down off of slips. He barely goes down off of slips, somebody stepping on his toes or anything like that, facing a southpaw, whatever. If Terence Bud Crawford stops Canelo Alvarez, to me, that will be the biggest upset in 100+ year, the Queensberry rule, in the history of the sport of boxing. And if he stops Canelo Alvarez, I'm talking about stop, TKO, stop, fatality, no heartbeat, red line. Canelo Alvarez's legacy will take a huge hit. It will take a huge hit, and I don't want to. And I don't give a damn what y'all say. Trying to say no, it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? He's losing to a respectable guy like Terence Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? It's just that Terence Bud Crawford is good, but nah. Canelo Alvarez had a great career. That's what I'm going to listen to. If it does happen, that's what I'm going to say. Because they want to keep Canelo Alvarez up there, right? They're gonna, I'm saying, Canelo Alvarez had a great career, you know what I'm saying? Probably, you know what I'm saying, overstays welcome and stuff like that, but you can't take that away from Canelo Alvarez. Oh, yes, you can. Oh, yes, you can, and yes, we will, and yes, I am. Because one of my favorite fighters, and I'm gonna say him, Mike Tyson at the time, Floyd Mayweather at the time, but Roy Jones Jr. is a guy that when I would go to the gym and work out, I used to emulate. As a matter of fact, you remember when Roy Jones Jr. came out with the Jordans, with the boxing shoes, the Jordan shoes? I bought the boxing shoes and I was going to school with them. Roy Jones Jr., after beating John Ruiz, was regarded pound for pound #1 fighter of the decade, and people was already talking about GOAT talk. I'm talking about GOAT talk. GOAT talk. And when he got knocked out by Antonio Tarver in the second fight, because he did beat Antonio Tarver, and I was, to be honest, I was a major fan of Roy Jones Jr. And after the fight with Antonio Tarver, I actually wanted him to retire as a fan. I say, ain't nothing to prove. Ain't nothing you moving down weight. Ain't nothing for you to prove. Ain't nothing for you to prove, especially when we saw him versus Antonio Tarver. That's it. That's it. And then he gave the second fight. I was mad that he gave him the second fight. Because around that time, you remember Roy Jones Jr. was already dabbling in being a rapper, and he was playing in the CBA. We all know at that time that said Roy Jones Jr. already done it. That's it. He was not going to get the Mike Tyson fight. He was not going to get the Lennox Lewis fight. He's not going to get the Holyfield fight. It was there. And nothing more to prove. He overstayed his welcome. And then he got knocked out by Antonio Tarver. And you cannot tell me that his legacy didn't take a hit. Roy Jones Jr. went from top 5 greatest of all time after the John Ruiz fight to probably top 25. That's how much, ladies and gentlemen, that's how much Roy Jones Jr. legacy took a hit. And it's unfortunate because we seen Roberto Duran lose, we seen Hearns lose, you know what I'm saying? And we lost, and later in their career, we see Mike Tyson lose. But even Mike Tyson losing late in the later part of his career, nobody even cared. Nobody cared about the McBride lost. But Roy Jones Jr. legacy took so much of a hit, especially the following knockout versus when he got knocked out by Glenn Johnson. It went from go talk to maybe you're hitting the top 20 ever. Maybe you're hitting the top 20 ever. I don't hear nobody talking about Roy Jones Jr. top 5 no more, not even top 10 anymore. Not top 10, not top 5, not top 10, barely top 15. But at that time, if y'all remember that time, Roy Jones Jr. was considered the GOAT. Man, people was looking at Roy Jones Jr. like Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard had a baby. But that one loss overstayed your welcome, knowing you got nothing left to prove, but money hungry, probably a little bit greedy. Then you take a loss that you was not supposed to take, and especially in the manner that the way that he took it. Let's be real, let's be honest. Canelo Alvarez got nothing left to prove. As much as we want to say, like I said in the beginning of the live, as much as we want to see the David Benavidez fight, David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez is not what Manny Pacquiao was to Floyd Mayweather and vice versa. It was icon versus icon, legacy versus legacy, pound for pound versus pound for pound. Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez is not that. It's not legacy up against your legacy. You don't got nothing. You don't got even a belt for me, and you don't even got to let. Well, he got a belt now, the WBC, but you don't have a legacy even close to mine. We want to see that fight because that's the only fighter that we've seen that probably could give Canelo Alvarez a run for his money in the 168-pound division when he was there. But this fight right here, I don't want to hear this fight that, oh man, you gotta understand this is Terence Crawford. He's daring to be great. No, I'm not dummy. I heard enough of what Bud Crawford thought about a potential Canelo Alvarez fight before Turkey Outshake and his money came into the table. We heard what Canelo Alvarez felt about a potential Terence Bud Crawford fight before a Turkey and his money got put on the table. This is not Terence Bud Crawford going to September 13th daring to be great. This was Terence Bud Crawford not daring to be stupid and decline that type of payday from Turkey Outshake and also by Canelo Alvarez. I have different prediction for this fight. And to me, it makes all sense. Like I said, there's a prediction in this fight that both of these guys is gonna be like a light sparring matchup. Because I do really think so. I really in my intellect tells me that Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford, while they was having dinner, spoke and said, "Yo, Turkey I'll shake is stupid. Like this is a stupid fight, but shit, hey, let's take it. Like, all right." I don't think that Canelo nor Terence Bud Crawford got a killer instinct going into this fight. I'll be honest. I don't think that both of these guys have a killer instinct. You think? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that Terence Bud Crawford is training his ass off not to be embarrassed. And I think that Canelo Alvarez is training his ass off not to be embarrassed. But it's not Canelo is going to whoop. I'm going out there and I'm training to knock out Terence Bud Crawford. And Terence Bud Crawford say, man, I'm training because I want to dare to be great and I want to be late. I don't think so. That's easy to say. That's an easy promo. I get it. I just don't think so. What we're gonna hear leading up to the fight, man, I felt in the best shape of my life from both teams. This is one of the greatest camps I ever had. Come on, man. I've been in this boxing shit for a long time. Now I understand. This is like I said, this is a fight, an event that boxing needs in America because in all actuality, what do we have for 2024 in America? Anybody could tell me? What do we have to look forward to? 2020, I'm sorry, not I said 2024, 2025, fourth quarter of boxing. What do we have? A potential Thurman versus Fundora. And there's already people out there that doesn't even, I like that fight, but there's people out there that's ready, oh, Thurman doesn't deserve a title shot. Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. is not going to be in America. It's going to be out there in Saudi Arabia. David Benavidez is not going to perform here. He's going to perform in Saudi Arabia. Virgil Ortiz is probably going to be back in December. Benavidez versus Yard is not going to be here. It's in Saudi Arabia. I said, what do we have looking forward to here in America after the Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford? Remember, Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford are the end of their career. Like they could retire. That's it after this fight. What do we got looking forward to? What do we have? What does boxing have? When is Gervonta Tank Davis back in the ring? Teofimo Lopez was calling out Shakur Stevenson. He was talking about January. So T.O. is not going to be back this year. Shakur Stevenson is not going to be back this year. Richardson Hitchens is not going to be back this year. What the hell is going to be happening in America? Think about it, folks. This ain't cliche that y'all heard for the past several years that saying that boxing is dying. Boxing is going to be dead. I am telling you, folks, it is already dead. I said this years and years ago. I said, yo, these networks, these promoters are taking advantage of these networks. These promoters are getting in cahoots with the sanctioning bodies and hustling the networks. The networks is going to find out about the hustle and they not going to want boxing anymore. And you got Top Rank, one of the most prestige promotional company for decades. Homeless. Homeless. In the building, in the building, in the building, in the building. El queso con los $100 a comprar gasolina de 93. Queso, what do you want? Queso, what do we need? Queso, dímelo, mi hermano. What's good, Queso? How's the health, man? Don't worry, we still got it. We still. Hold on, pera, mi gente, pera. Leave the 12, the 13, and the 14th. Leave the 13th, the 12, the 13, and the 14, porque lo que tenemos, lo tenemos. Pera, ¿dónde que está, pera? Where the photo at? Where the photo at? Bang! Ahí! Brought to you by Charles Edwin. ¿Qué eso? Tenemos ticket. Pera. Dame quitar esto. Pera. Subscribe. It's going to be a special winner. Hey, yo, we just hit 104K subscribers today. We just hit 104K subscriber today. Can we hit 105 subscriber by fight night? 105. Can we get another 1,000 subscribers by fight night? Charles Edward, queso con los $100. Me dice, I blame the fighters, man. They be getting us hype, then fighting randos. Bro, fight the best name main. You ain't gotta milk us. Pause. We gotcha if you got us. Facts. Queso. You know. Queso. And everybody in the chat, like I've been saying, y'all know. Look. I ain't even thinking about the win and loss right now. To be honest, that's not even the primary. Who's going to win? It's going to be Canelo. Who's going to be? It's going to be Bud. Nah, man, that's not enough. Canelo Alvarez beating Terence Crawford is not enough. Terence Crawford beating Canelo Alvarez is not enough. They have to perform. They have to be overwhelming. Because look, okay, Floyd Mayweather beat Manny Pacquiao, the fight of the century. Floyd Mayweather beat Manny Pacquiao. That shit gave boxing a black eye like it never did before. We still got ice on the eye. We still put meat on the eye. After that fight, to be honest, that was my last fight party. Epic party. Me and my peoples from the BX, we used to have fight parties every big event. The whole block, we shut the whole block down. We put the whole like big screen and everything. After that fight, there would never was a fight party ever again. I'm gonna say like this: the Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G, but it wasn't as big as the Mayweather Manny Pacquiao. That fight right there, so many people left the sport of boxing with a bad taste in their mouth, and they walked into the MMA and UFC. As much as people want to give Dana White the credit to build UFC, let me tell you what built UFC. The underwhelming performance of Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao build the UFC. And it was a bad momentum because it was Manny Pacquiao, because it was, hold on, damn, I think it's frozen right now. Charles and the queso using the punch phrase. He said the vajiji juice. I think they did this on purpose to make sure the 13 cells, though killed all the fights we was having. I guess December the next lit month. I think it's October the next lit month, right? But not a matter of fact, not the next lit month. We got Boots fighting Lima. Who the hell is Lima? Good looking out there. So with the $100, a comprar un buffet para la familia. Good looking out, man. Yeah, man. October, we got the potential. What they say, why we got Boots versus Lima. That's a whack fight. We wasn't asking for that. You know what I'm saying? Um, what's the other fight? A potential fight with Keith Thurman versus Fundora is not finalized yet. What's supposed to be the fight before that? Virgil Ortiz, is a Virgil Ortiz and Erickson Lubin? If they finalize Virgil Ortiz versus Erickson Lubin, but if Virgil Ortiz already sent a contract to fight in December, is Virgil Ortiz really going to be fighting in October? I don't know, man. It's maybe December is the date, but that's the problem with the sport of boxing. The problem with the sport of boxing. Hold on, folks, because the comments is frozen on my end. My fault if I can't see the comments at the moment. My comment section is frozen. Hold on. Finally caught one. Ya tú sabes que eso, trabajando aquí, trabajando. Eh, damn. Okay. Um, if Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford do not perform, I'm talking about perform like a better performance than even Canelo and Triple G. It got to be breathtaking. It has to captivate the imagination, the emotions of the boxing fans. Because to be honest, it's not doing it for me. I don't give a damn how many commercials they put, how many promos they put, how many muscle pictures they put for Terence Crawford. Hey, yo, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, Terence Crawford's gonna come like Terminator and shit like that. I'm telling you. Look out, you could put all those pictures up. You could put them looking like you could paint Buck Crawford green. It's still not giving me that confidence. It's not giving me the confidence there's gonna be a Barnes and Burner. I always say that a great fight always have the two fighters got good momentum going to the fight. Let's not forget, because a lot of people like to be like, oh, yo, this is gonna be like Thomas Hearns. This is gonna be like Thomas Hearns and Hagler. No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't think so. Am I being a party pooper? A lot of people think like now this is like when Hearn moved up and faced Hagler. No, Hearns was fighting in the junior middleweight for damn 4 years already. Thomas Hearns moved up from the welterweight division after losing to Sugar Ray Leonard. And he was there for 4 years and had 8 fights prior to the Hagler fight. It was not like this was a very, very small guy moving up to the middleweight division. And put it this way, 4 fights prior or 3 fights prior, Thomas Hearns did fight in the middleweight division. I forgot the dude's name. So this was not, don't compare this to Hearns and Hagler. Oh, but if Hearn can move up, you know what I'm saying? It gives me the same type of energy that Hearn. You wasn't even alive when the Hearn and the Hagler happened. Not even I was alive, but I'm gonna tell you like this. I know the history because I'm a student of the game. Thomas Hearns was already in the junior middleweight division for 8 fights, 4 years. And at least Hearn have a great momentum. Hagler knocked out his opponent. Hearn knocked out his opponent. It's not like this with Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford. With Canelo Alvarez, he had to fight with William Skull. It was the worst performance, and I know it wasn't Canelo Alvarez's fault, but it was the worst outing for Canelo Alvarez and his elite career. The same thing for Terence Crawford was the worst performance of his elite career. So how am I gonna be for? But it's gonna be it's gonna be incredible. Come on, man, stop. If people want to say like, hey yo, if people want to say, hey yo, he's declining. Hold on, let me. But if y'all believe that Bud Crawford is if Canelo Alvarez is declining, then Bud Crawford looked like he was declining too. Hold on. What up? What up? Hold on. Give me a second. He said, "Yes, you are a party poop." All right, damn it. All right, guys. All right, all right. Let me see if I could. Let me see if I could be on the positive note. Come on, positivity, positive. Should I be positive? Hey, yo, man, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to be positive, but it's just I don't know. You know what? You know what's you know what I have a problem with. I have a problem of not faking it to make it. I have a problem with not like I can't like it irks me. Like I gotta. It's almost like I gotta tell I gotta tell the truth. I can't lie to y'all, man. I can't. I don't know what needs to happen in leading up to the fight that's gonna convince me that this is gonna be a great fight. You know what I'm saying? I just don't feel look. I don't feel that they have momentum going to the fight. I don't feel like Canelo Alvarez truly wanted this fight, and I don't feel like Terence Crawford truly wanted this fight. And I think that he really took this fight for the money. But I do think that this is an event that actually at this point needed to happen. Just think about if we did not have Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford right now. And that's why I think, okay, I'm trying to find a way to truly give so much importance to the fight. And by me giving importance to the fight, and for me to be engaged with the fight, I gotta see a fight. It just can't be that Canelo Alvarez go 12 rounds with Bud Crawford. It just can't be that if Bud Crawford beats Canelo Alvarez, that he just outpoints Canelo Alvarez. And yes, it will be a highly accomplished. He will be three-division undisputed world champion. I get it, but I think for where boxing is at right now, because I'm a boxing fan. Remember, I created the channel to preserve the modern day warriors, modern day gladiators, the one that put their life on the line for pure entertainment, to preserve the sport of boxing. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right. Okay. They say you got to be more positive, Punch. You just got to be more positive. Come on, man. Stop being a party pooper out here. Come on, stop it. Rap star boxing knowledge, the voice of the UK, London. Ain't shit fitting. Charles, what's good, my brother? What's your live with Glazier? Voice of the UK, London, bruv. Yo, so where's the picture at? Let me put the picture. Let me put the picture. Let me put the picture up. Because if this happens, hold on. Let's put the picture up. Let's put the picture up. True, true in the chat. My brother wanted to make a point to point betting app, but there are lots of laws. Punch, punch. You know who let us down the most over the last 5 years? Who has it? What is going on? Why is doing this, bro? I gotta be Tank Davis, bro. Let me see. Oh, okay, Tank Davis. Hmm. In the past 5 years, I don't know because Tank did give us the Ryan Garcia fight. Even though there were stipulations, he did give us that fight. And to be honest, that was the last what lucrative fight in the sport of boxing. What it did 1.3 million pay-per-view buys. So I'm not gonna say the past 5 years because he did give us that fight. Um, I think in the past 5 years, I think it's been a collective unit with the sport of boxing. I think it's been collectively. I think there's fights that has happened and we should be grateful for it. We've seen a lot of undisputed, right? And I think that we got to give credit to across the board. Like Turkey Ashe gave us Bivol Beterbiev, gave us Usyk and Tyson Fury. PBC gave us Jamel Charlo Castano, Crawford versus Earl Spence. Top Rank gave us Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez, Teofimo Lopez versus Vasily Lomachenko. Um, you know, even Frank Warren when he gave us that Joy Joyce versus Danny Dubois, that was a good fight. That was before the pandemic or after the pandemic. Um, I think probably the most disappointing maybe was is Jamal Charlo, even though they had his deal his situation and stuff like that. But I think for the most part, I think there's been you know good fights, and then there've been some misses. I think that 2023 was an epic year. I love that year. I look that year we had Devin Haney versus Loma, Teo versus Taylor, Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor, um, Bud versus Spence. We had some good fights, some good momentum. And that's when also Turkey was emerging at the same time. I think that 2024 it was okay, but didn't give us that good momentum from 2023. I wish that we would have kept that 2023 moving on. Like I wish that Terence Crawford would have fought. Or also now, Uwe became a two division undisputed world champion in the span of 12 months. In that December, he became a two division undisputed world champion. We even got that fight. We got Uwe versus Stephen Fulton. You know what I'm saying? So 2023 for me was a historic year in the sport of boxing. I wish we'd have kept the same momentum. Um, and 2024 could have been an epic year because if I'm sorry, if Deontay Wilder would have beaten Joseph Parker, we would have got the fight that we all been waiting for a long time. That would have been Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua, and that was supposed to be for March 2024. Um, we had Virgil come back. You know what I'm saying? I think that Terence Crawford. I think that was a mistake for Terence Crawford to wait a whole year to come back because that victory was so good. The way that Terence Crawford beat Earl the True Spence, everybody and their mama was talking about it. But what happens? You wait a year, people forget already. Like after 5 months, you should have been back in the ring in that same year, that December. And then you should have been back in the ring that when you fought Majimov. That was right there, and that's what's happening to the sport of boxing. That fans don't know when these fighters are going to come back, when they're going to fight. There is no anticipation, and if there's no anticipation, then that's like if just like in life, if you weren't anticipating on nothing, you're not looking for that shit because there is no anticipation for it. I think the inactivity of the Terence Crawford really failed boxing because if this is the Bud Crawford era, like he said after the fight with Earl the True Spins. He could have fought. I know there was supposed to be a rematch. Spins couldn't fight, but you could have fought at least Thurman. You could have kept the ball rolling. You could have go to the 154 and fight a name. You could have fought Boots. You could have kept the ball rolling. It's true right there what you said, man. Facts punch. I was being a bit net. But it's true. No, but the thing, you know what it is? You know what it is, Queso, and everybody in the chat, is that boxing makes us negative. It's like we're urging for something great. We want boxing. Is that we're negative because meet the fans halfway. Just meet us halfway. You don't got to even give us, just meet us halfway. You don't got to give us everything now. Is that you never give anything when we ask for it, and then you give it to us when we already. It's almost like yo, boxing fans. We in a very bitter relationship right now. The fans and boxing. It's like you in a relationship and you're in it, but you're not in it anymore. That the fire, when you've been in a relationship before and it's like you're in the relationship, but that's it. That the love is not there. You just used to each other. You don't know if you really love her anymore. Or you don't. Or she don't know if she loves you anymore. It's just that you just got a bunch of kids, and you invested in the sport of boxing, and your heart was in as a whole, as just as a fan. But really, we're in a real battle relationship with the sport of boxing. We're Tina Turner, and boxing is Ike Turner. And then there's people out there, well, why you just don't leave? The UFC is looking at us, and bare knuckle challenge is looking at us and saying, why don't you leave? Why don't you leave boxing, man? Why don't you leave him? Why don't you leave her? Why don't you leave boxing? She's mistreating you, bro. Man, leave that bitch, man. Damn. Like for real, man. You looking like a sucker out here. You looking like a suck out here, man. Boxing be mistreating your ass, and you still out here in the sport. You still dating the sport of boxing. You still dating that nigga. We like the bitches. And the homegirls is telling the chicks, like, just leave that motherfucker. He ain't good for you, bitch. What the fuck? That motherfucker don't do shit for you, like for real. Anything you ask for shit, he don't give you nothing and stuff like that. Why you gonna stop? Just leave him alone? Just leave him, girl. Just leave him, girl. There's better guys out there for you. You know what I'm saying? There is UFC. Yeah, he look good and stuff like that. And you know, he got money too. Oh yeah, Mr. UFC got money. I'm gonna tell you like this. He's 7.7 billion. He got money. And bare knuckle, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Bare knuckle, he a cutie. And we're like the better bitches there sticking around for boxing. That boxing is a loser, bro. The boxer don't got no job. He's a Sankey Panky, bro. He takes our money. Yo, that's the relationship, bro. We're like them highly insecure chicks that their man is locked up for like 7 years, still writing letters every day and taking them food and shit like that. They ain't feeding us. Think about it. Yo, no. This for real. Yo, this is for real. We like the bitter, we like the batter bitches in boxing, bro. Think about it. We pour into the sport of boxing more than they give us. Think about it. Think about this community. Think about all the channels. Just think about it. Think about Punch Drunk, Showbiz, Blue Bloods, Ego, Rap Star. Just think about all the channels. We in the relationship every day. We putting in work every day. And what is boxing giving us? Think about it. That's like when you put we in this 24/7, 365 boxing content creators. And we gotta come up with videos and lives, but out of nothing. Hey, yo, I said this before. The boxing content creators, we are the best creators of all sports. I'm for real. Shout out to all the boxing content creators. I don't give a damn if we agree on something or disagree on anything. I don't give a damn if you like me. I don't give a damn if you respect me, vice versa, if you respect me. But in all actuality, boxing content creators, I'm talking about the consistent ones as well. We are the most creative out of NBA basketball podcasters or boxing content NBA boxing NBA content creators, NFL content creators, MLB content creators, because they always got content every day. They got a game, they got every other game, they got preseason. We got nothing. We got one fight, two fights a year. We got an event. We don't know what's gonna happen. We try to be Nostradamus, we try to be fortune tellers. We don't know shit. It's like we were talking about right now. Like, yo, like we're gonna get this fight, but then what's gonna happen? And let's be real, let's be honest, man. The card, it ain't all that to me. The card is not all that. Like Wash versus Fernando Vargas Jr. Let me. All right. Let me. I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna be negative. I'm not gonna be negative. How do you like the card? How is the card? Do you like the card? Do you like Canelo, Bud, and Billy, Lester, Wash, Fernando? Vargas Jr., do you like the card? Yes or no? Let's be real. Let's be honest. Is it a good card? Is it a good card? Or for nothing, Turkey told us it was going to be some so-so. It's true. He did let us know it's not gonna be no big cars. I think that Turkey on shake is I think that Turkey is already upset. I think that he don't want to spend money no more. I think that the advisors, and he got an American advisor as well, that does the negotiations for him as well. Itch, the black guy with the bald head that he stand next to Bud, he does the negotiations with other fights. So I think he's telling I think he's telling Turkey out shake, hey yo, my man, don't spend no more money, Turkey. What do you want? It's true, motherfucker. I don't know. I don't understand this American boxing fans. I don't understand it. Bring some good fights. I do some good fights. I did the Lex Crescendo, and the Americans only put in 45K pay-per-view buys. What the fuck? I came here last year with Terence Crawford, the guy that beat Spin, supposed to be the #1 American boxer, and I lost $10 million. They only came to see Eminem. After Eminem performed, they all fucking left. What the fuck is happening to American boxing? As a matter of fact, and then I have to deal with. And then I'd have to deal with this cartier female operator that's called me a dictator. And I'd have to deal with Ryan Garcia not showing up and having no killer instinct. And I have to deal with David Haney running all over the track and field. What the fuck is happening? What is going on to these Americans? These are bullshitters. Look at Jared Anderson losing to Percoli. These fucking divas in American are bullshitters. Crystal said, man, I mean, I'm going to go, man. Dev complain. I can't complain about it, man. Hey, yo, Punch, stop it, all right? You make me not want to go now, bro. You gonna make me want to just throw a fight party for real. I ain't even going to try. Well, come on, man. Give me something. Give me something to go by. I'm going to give you something. Let's pump it up. Y'all want me to pump it up? Because I could promote this shit too. I can't even do it. I can't even lie. I can't even do it. Because one thing that I don't like that I'm hearing a lot, and I understand why. I understand the promotional tactic. Trust me, I understand. They have to pump Terence Crawford and being strong and being big and being better technical because they need to they need to bring this mismatch into a 50-50 fight. So I understand. I understand. What can Terence Crawford do to beat Canelo Alvarez? And see, that's tough for me right there. Because I believe that I don't think they give Canelo Alvarez credit enough for his craftiness and his technique. I don't think that Canelo Alvarez is purely more athletic than Terence Crawford, but I also don't believe that Terence Crawford uses his footwork to stay away from fighters. He actually uses his footwork to find the angles to attack you. See, that's the difference. It's not like what William Skull did. It's not like what even Jamel Charlo got good footwork, but he didn't use his footwork to attack Canelo Alvarez, to find angles, to set Canelo Alvarez up, to set up traps. See, that's Terence Crawford. But Terence Crawford, if you look at his fight, for him to win, he also want to fight you. He don't go a whole fight to outbox you, masterclass, outperform you. You know what I'm saying? Put his tools in his pocket and truly never use it. See, Terence Crawford needs to fight to win. And if Terence Crawford is not going to change his style at 38 years old, I don't think so. I think that Terence Crawford is going to go through the motions, could go through the motions, trying to box. But once he figure out that this boxing is doing nothing to Canelo, and Canelo tags him with something. See, I'm gonna tell you this about Terence Crawford, and we've been watching it. Terence Crawford is competitive. Terence Crawford has a mean streak. Terence Crawford listens to haters. Terence Crawford wants to prove. It's almost like the first press conference, right? And everybody was talking, oh, Terence Crawford look like he's kind of shy with Canelo Alvarez. Oh, this is boring. Oh, and and Terence Crawford's team, and he heard that. And then in the second press conference, I even told y'all before that, I said, watch, the second press conference, Terence Crawford is going to step up to him. Because he hears the whispers. He don't want to feel like he's a punk. So what did he do? He tried to go at Canelo Alvarez. So this is the reason why it's hard for me to pick Terence Crawford, even though that I believe in his skills and talent. It's because Terence Crawford will force himself to fight. And if he forces himself to fight, he's going to land in the hands of Canelo Alvarez because that's what Canelo Alvarez wants you to do. And if you try to go toe to toe and try to show your dog versus Canelo Alvarez, you're, in my opinion, it's no way in chance that he's going to beat Canelo Alvarez. Because there's no way that Terence Crawford could hurt Canelo Alvarez. But that's the only way that's going to satisfy Terence Crawford. I don't, just like a lot of people be saying, nah, Terence ain't gonna fight no like William Score. Trust me, bro. He ain't gonna fight, he ain't gonna be timid and not take risks like Jamel Charlo. That ain't Bud Crawford. He's a dog. So if you think that the dog is gonna come out, what you think is gonna happen to that dog? What you think is gonna happen to that roof? Canelo Alvarez is gonna turn that roof into earth. Canelo Alvarez gonna tell you, you remember coming to America? Bark like a dog. Arf, arf, arf. A big dog. Woof, woof, woof. Make it look like a orangutan. Ooh, ooh. Hop him on leg. What is it? Do you like? I'm telling you, bro. He's gonna make that pit bull sound like a chihuahua, bro. He's gonna make that pit bull sound like a Yorkie. September 13th. I'm telling you, folks. So, what was my true prediction in this fight? Is that Canelo Alvarez is gonna beat the snack out of Terence Crawford when Terence Crawford feels like he needs to turn into a dog because him trying to box Canelo Alvarez is not going to phase Canelo. Oh, but he could do what Floyd Mayweather did. Terence Crawford ain't Floyd Mayweather, bro. Floyd Mayweather will stick to his game plan. He's not going to go toe to toe with Canelo. He's going to stick to his game plan. And ladies and gentlemen, Bud Crawford is not a defensive wizard. He's not. Terence Crawford cares about what fans think, whether they like it, whether they say positive things or negative things. That's why he always references the haters. See? Floyd Mayweather, he don't give a damn what you think how he fights. You think he gave 1 cent and how you feel, how his approach was, Manny Pacquiao when the whole world was watching? He put the ski mask, he takes your money, he takes, I don't give a damn about how you think. I only care about my bag. I'm out. Terence Crawford is the type where Bomac says in the Sean Porter fight, hey yo man, you losing. What you talking about? Yeah, you losing, man. And what he did, he went all out. When Mean Machine dropped him, he went all out. He wasn't trying to look to outbox Mean Machine after he got hurt. He wasn't trying to just go through the rhythm and keep the same game plan when it was with Sean Porter. No. Even with Mazurov, look at that 12th round. Bud Crawford had to go for it. He ain't trying to outbox Madrimov. He couldn't outbox Madrimov. He couldn't outbox Sean Porter. He couldn't outbox Mean Machine. He needed to fight. And guess what? It's going to be the same thing with Canelo Alvarez. He's going to come to a point that he's going to realize I need to fight because this guy is not backing up from me. Fuck it. I got pride too. I got 7 kids. They watching me. I got too much pride. This guy has got too much pride playing ping pong, bruh. Just like everybody want to talk about, oh, yo, like Hearns and Hagler. Yeah, it could be like Hearns and Hagler, but let's not forget what happened to Hagler. Hearns, he got knocked the F out in 3 rounds, bro. Ain't even go past 4. And this is going to happen. It is going to happen. I dare Bud Crawford go toe to toe, with a Mexicano. What's good, Packers game in the building? What's good, man? Nah, he ain't gonna do Bud like that. Blacks must bet with their intellect, not emotions. Ah, exactly. He's no Mayweather, said Karate Kid in the building. Facts. He's no Mayweather. I don't know why every people like to throw that Mayweather name, like to 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 talk about this fight. I do think he has the timing though. It'll look good until he get cracked. At that moment, he will know collectively it is over, or as Bivol said, he is he mentally special? See, and this is why I say he's not in that level of Mayweather. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all follow the channel, I told y'all what's my favorite class. Why am I a huge fan of Keith Thurman? Why I'm a fan of Demetrius Andre? Why I was a fan of Gary Russell? Why I was a fan of Deontay Wilder? Because the '07 class was my favorite class. That bunch. I'm talking about again Thurman, Andre, Gary Russell, Deontay Wilder, the Charlos, Saram Ali, Mikey Garcia, Leo Santa Cruz, Daniel Jacobs, Sean Porter, Alessandro Usyk in the international level. And at the international level, these guys used to fight. Bud Crawford, if you know Bud Crawford from the amateurs, he said, Chocolate Thunder! Bud Crawford from the amateurs. Ask anybody, ask any fighter, what was the problem of Bud Crawford? He's a wild guy. Always was. He's a wild guy. And you know what? Throughout the years, he's developed a professionalism within his skill set. He's gotten better. Asked him, I asked, and when I do interviews, that's why I asked these questions to Sean Porter, to Keith Thurman, to Demise Andre, to even Michael Hunter, right? Right. I spoke to check out Michael Hunter. I think I'm gonna interview him soon. They always looked at, they didn't think that Bud Crawford was going to manage to be who Bud Crawford is today, not because of his skills, because of his mental. He goes all out. He goes wild. Not like a Deontay Wilder go wild, but he'll throw the game plan away. He'll panic to fight you, but guess what? He's a fighter. Look, I'm gonna say it like this. There's a lot of boxers that they are boxers. They never had street fights. They're not in the street. A lot of these young fighters, they're recreational kids. To be honest. They from the recreation center. They wasn't in the hood. They wasn't in the street like that. Just because you're from the ghetto, that doesn't mean you in the street. You know what I'm saying? But Terence Bud Crawford knows how to box, knows how to fight. Terence Bud Crawford walks with a chip on his shoulder, fights with a chip on his shoulder. But that chip is gonna get cracked by Canelo because Canelo comes from the I don't care. Now he comes from Mexico. He comes from he's not I'm not saying he's street either, but he's very well schooled. He's been fighting men since he was 14, 13 years old, bro. That's why none of these fighters can manage to hurt him. He's been fighting grown men since 13 years old. Why these guys was getting groomed, and I'm not gonna say I was gonna say groomed by boys. Well, well, these guys was getting built up by fighting their own, like own age and boys and stuff like that, and teens. Canelo Alvarez was getting beaten up by the men. But don't have the discipline like exactly. Blow exactly. Bud doesn't have the discipline like Floyd Mayweather. He doesn't. He don't have the defensive discipline like Floyd Mayweather. And he has to change his game plan throughout the fight because if you really study Bud Crawford, he could outbox you. He's a great boxer. But how many times have we said outside of the Earl Spence fight? How many times we said, "Yo, Terence Bud Crawford, a masterful performance, meaning masterful boxing technique," and wow, like no, he knocks out his opponents. He stops his opponent later on. He hurts his opponent and stuff like that. But his defense is not all of that. Maybe because he takes more risk and you're more subjected to be countered. I think that Canelo Alvarez's performance of late has given people the confidence to pick Terence Bud Crawford. I think if Canelo Alvarez would have stopped Jamel Charlo, if Canelo Alvarez would have stopped Jamel Charlo, would have stopped at least Jaime Munguia and Berlanga, I don't think that people will be looking at this fight. I think that Canelo Alvarez gave people a reason because the lack of him not taking out particular fighters that's not supposed to be on his level at 168 has people has the imagination that Terence Bud Crawford could do it. Do I think that Canelo Alvarez defense is like a wizard? No. But I think that Canelo Alvarez defense is underrated. I think people see the athleticism of Bud Crawford and see that he's way athletic than Canelo Alvarez, but in that ring, athleticism is kind of different than outside of the ring. The athleticism in the boxing ring is way different than in the field or in the boxing or in the or in a basketball gym. I'm gonna give you one example, and I said this example a while ago. Deontay Wilder in the gridiron in the basketball court or anything is more athletic than Tyson Fury. But Tyson Fury in a boxing ring is more athletic than Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder got two left feet in a boxing ring compared to Tyson Fury. You understand? Deontay Wilder used to play collegiate basketball, play high school football. Very athletic outside the boxing ring. But he got two left feet in the boxing ring. Tyson Fury floats like a butterfly. He's highly athletic in the boxing ring. If you understand what I'm talking, well, what I'm saying. So Canelo, we've seen him with every style at the elite level. Now, why has Canelo Alvarez like there are some correlations to the people that Canelo Alvarez have struggled with, right? And I was thinking about this because in the end of the day, he said, "Yo, punch, you drunk." Okay. Charles says athletic and coordination and body control. They different. Facts. Facts. And the boxing ring is very, very facts. Put the best athletic guy in the boxing ring, and you're gonna see that you're gonna think that this guy is that these people have no athleticism. It's very different. So, put it this way. What I was gonna say. I don't see the fight go where Crawford's chin was suspected. Okay, Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez. He is he's fought every style at the highest level. Give me the two. Okay, give me the four names. Four names, and I think I know what the four names, but I want you to help me out in the chat. Give me the names that Canelo Alvarez lost to, and give me the names, add the names that you feel that Canelo Alvarez unofficially lost. Name me the names that he lost. We already know that he lost to Bivol and Floyd. What are the other names that you think that he actually lost to? What are the names that you think Canelo Alvarez actually lost to outside of Bivol and Floyd Mayweather? In the chat, Karate said, I guess Triple G. Well, Canelo lost to Laura for sure. Lara and Triple G. Charles said Triple G won. Okay. I have to go to box break down memory lane. I Tourist says Lara and Golovkin. Queso says Triple G won. I don't think he lost to Lara. I don't think he lost to Lara either. But that's what people are saying, right? All right, he lost to Floyd Mayweather and Bivol, and people feel like it's Lara and Golovkin, the fights that he probably that people felt on the fence or controversial that they believe that these people got robbed. Okay, thank you because I. So now peep this. All right, if you notice the guys that Canelo Alvarez, let's say, had trouble with, they was world champions before becoming pros. Now I understand this that some of y'all, because I know when I go way deep into boxing discussions, into technique and all that, I am a person that do follow the amateurs. I'm an amateur. I respect the amateur just as much as I respect the pros. In certain years of my life, I respected the amateurs even more than the pros, because once you understand the pros, you understand that there's a lot of, I mean, there's politics in amateurs, but when it comes to ranking, like you have to truly prove yourself in the amateurs. Like you have to fight, you have to really prove yourself. There's nothing given to you in the amateurs, right? Like that. I know there's been corruption, I know there's been judging and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's not as political as the pros. So the reason why Canelo Alvarez had trouble with these guys is because these guys are actually highly polished. These guys are it factors. These guys are finished products. Look at Triple G and his amateur. He's a world champ. When I'm talking about world champions, is these guys been traveling around the world through on their come up, sharpening their tools. Triple G's fought all over the world. Bivol has fought all over the world. Cuba, look at it in your down left side. That's Lara. Lara fought all over the world. When you see world championships, they fight all over. They fighting people all over the world. Floyd Mayweather up top is a bronze. As we all know, he won the bronze medal, but we all know that he should have won the gold medal. See, Canelo Alvarez have trouble with highly elite, amateur pedigree type of fighters. That's who really Canelo Alvarez have troubled with, because these guys have seen every style as well. Canelo Alvarez got groomed in the pros. He does good versus guys that got pro style. He has a difficulties fighting guys that has a amateur style. You see, like William Skull fought an amateur style of fight, and even though that he was running, there was judges that gave William Skull a 115, 113 scorecards. Whether we like the fight or not, but the way that judging is, the criteria almost favored William Skull. Canelo Alvarez almost lost his last fight, or could have been a draw. Think about it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go back to the scorecards. Hold on. Let's go back to the scorecard. So y'all can understand what I'm trying to say. Scorecard. Let's see what they gave. Let me see. All right. One scorecard had a 115, 113. Yes. Yes. One scorecard gave a 115, 113. The other scorecard was 116, 112. And the other one was 119, 109. Now you know that 118, 119, 109 already was, given to Canelo Alvarez. But these other judges had it a close fight. These other judges had it a close fight. If William Skull would have threw just a little bit more punches, that 115, 113 is too close. That 116, 112 is close enough. What I'm saying is that even with that fight, Canelo Alvarez was uncomfortable. Canelo Alvarez, people felt that he lost to Triple G. Triple G has an amateur pedigree, world class fighter. Bivol, amateur pedigree, world class fighter. Lara, amateur pedigree, world class fighter, and Floyd Mayweather. Now, I'm not gonna say that there's other guys that he's beaten, but let me tell you like this: Berlanga is not a, is what didn't have a great amateur sting. Caitlin Plant was not truly known in the amateurs. Jamel Charlo was not up like that in the amateurs as well. The man in Texas was actually Charles Hatley. It wasn't even the Charlo brothers. It was Charles Hatley. He was the man in the amateurs. If you ever look it up in their class, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. not a prestige amateur. Jaime Munguia not a prestige amateur. Who else? Who else? Who else? Kovalev. Kovalev only fought in Russia, but because Russia has a great got great amateurs like Otoba Turbiev, and he competed with Otoba Turbiev, but Kovalev only fought. He didn't go all over the world. Is that Russia already had enough great competition that it groomed him, but Kovalev was based off just in Russia. Bud Crawford, Bud Crawford, he won Golden Glove Nationals. He did his thing here, but when it came to the world games, remember, he couldn't go to the he couldn't go to the Olympics. He lost to Saddam Ali. Saddam Ali, who has a amateur pedigree, the type of amateur pedigree that actually also beat Cotto. Cotto did fight in the amateurs and did travel certain places around the world, but basically stood more in the Caribbeans more than anything else in the tournaments in the Caribbean. What I'm saying is that Terence Bud Crawford, as much as he did have a good amateur in the States, wasn't the type of world champion all over the world. That's who Canelo Alvarez have problems with. That's who Canelo Alvarez have problem with. Canelo Alvarez have problem with world class champions who have paid their dues in the world stage. That's travel. Let's say, for example, and this is why I said a long time ago. I know a lot of people gonna get mad because every time I bring his name, motherfuckers got a titty attack and get their and get their period. I know why they did. I know why Golden Boy Promotion and his team did not want a Canelo and Demetrius Andre because they didn't want to get in the ring with another Lara. It's not that Boo Boo was going to beat the crap out of Canelo. Is that he was going to give him the type of looks that Canelo Alvarez just that one don't want to see. He said that's like when milk can't come out. Yeah. Another amateur pedigree world games. Yeah, Boo Boo was beating dudes in Ukraine and Russia and stuff like that in the world games. All these tournaments. He was traveling all over the world in Germany. He was the number one fighter in America. Demetrius Andre. Yes, that guy, the guy that y'all don't like. The guy that y'all be like he's a bum and all that shit. But even when Oscar De La Hoya in the podcast said, yo, Jaime Munguia will fight anybody. The only person that he won't even fight that he won't fight is Demetrius Andre. He said it. Because boxing matchmakers know what it is. Bud Crawford don't have, in my opinion, the type of pedigree that's going to keep that's going to make Canelo Alvarez uncomfortable. Because like you say, and most of the people say is that Bud Crawford is a dog, right? That's what I hear. He's a dog, and we know that he's a dog. And for him to win, he needs to turn into a dog. And if he doesn't turn into a dog, I just don't think that he won't turn into a dog because he's going to be 38 years old. He's not going to change his style unless he really does something that we never seen before in terms of him just shying away, running away. I think Bud Crawford has too much of an ego to do that, which going to get him knocked out. Is people gonna disrespect Bud Crawford for going for the gusto? No, because Hearn got respect for it. Kell Brook got respect for it. Kell Brook ain't running from Triple G. Kell Brook tried to take it to Triple G. That's why he got his socket broken. But guess what? Even with that, even with the performance that Kell Brook gave Triple G, a lot of people saying, yo, Triple G got exposed by Kell Brook. Kell Brook didn't get disrespected. People still packed 30,000 people in Sheffield to see Kell Brook versus Earl Spence. And this is what I'm talking about, folks. Mark, listen what I just said. Kell Brook got his socket broken by Triple G. But people respected him so much that let's not forget, he fought Earl Spence in Sheffield in a stadium. So what I mean by that is that forget about the wins and the loss. Because if Canelo Alvarez beats Bud Crawford in a boring fight in 12 rounds, it does nothing for Canelo. It does nothing for boxing while the world is watching on Netflix for free. If Bud Crawford outpoints Canelo Alvarez, yeah, for the moment it's going to be good. But if it wasn't action packed and it wasn't breathtaking, and if it didn't captivate the imagination, the emotions of the boxing fans, let me tell you like this. Let me tell you like this. Bivol beating Canelo Alvarez, Bivol didn't become an A side somewhere. Like he didn't become, oh shit. Who did Bivol fight after Canelo Alvarez? Sudo Ramirez, right? I think it was Sudo Ramirez. Let me see. Let me double check. I think it was Sudo Ramirez. Let's just double check. Yes, Sudo Ramirez in a 12-round bout, and then he fought Arthur, Lyndon Arthur, and then he fought Malik Zan out there in Saudi Arabia. Nobody was clamoring for, oh, I gotta see a Bivol fight. Oh shit, he must see TV. You know why? Because he didn't beat Canelo Alvarez like a must see TV. He didn't demoralize Canelo Alvarez. Somebody got to be demoralized for the boxing fans and casuals and combat fans to be to, to be interested in boxing again. If Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford wets the bed, come fight night. If Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford wets the bed, boxing is going to take several steps backwards that I don't think they're going to have the strength to move a step forward. I just think at the moment right now that boxing is as a niche sport as it's ever been. People have no clue who people are. People have no clue what a champion is. I'm telling you, man. I don't think we I've seen boxing like this. Like people don't talk about boxing. It's like it's sad. It's sad. It's sad, man. He said, "What the f you talking about? Where does it say that it is reality? Only you butt buddies think Crawford beats Canelo because y'all delusional." I don't know if he's talking about me. Facts. We are not in the cage. Hey yo, queso. Facts. We are 900K strong on a good day. That's bad. That's bad that Earl Spence versus Bud Crawford only did 600K. That's bad. And I feel like David Benavidez was actually gaining momentum. Like I could see, okay, David Benavidez is going to take over Cinco, Mexican Independence Day, Cinco de Mayo. But I think that David Benavidez right now, where American boxing is right now, and the performance that he had with David Morrell, and it actually sold more pay-per-view buys than Canelo Alvarez versus William Skull. I think because they didn't even want to come out with those numbers. He did good for David Benavidez. I think there was an emerge. There was an interest at David Benavidez. The casuals was talking about him. ESPN, the Stephen A. Smith, they like him. So when you get the big personalities that have high traffic in the industry of sport, talking about like David Benavidez, okay, he's emerging. He's emerging. He's gonna be the next guy. But now he's gonna be fighting where? In Saudi Arabia versus Anthony Yard. It's almost like Turkey Al Sheikh is taking them away. And I understand that this is a world sport. But right now in America, we need them here. We need David Benavidez here. He needed us to fight here. We got Devin Haney going to be fighting Brian Oman Jr. No, we need that fight here. I'm, people don't know the zone, folks. People don't know the zone. There's only 100K subscribers to the zone in America. There's only 100K subscribers based in America that's subscribing to the zone. Everybody's from the is from the UK, from the UK, overseas. When I was out there in overseas and stuff like that, yeah, people have the zone because of soccer. People in America go to the barbershop. You know the zone? What the fuck is that? What is that? I don't know the zone, my bro. What the fuck is the zone, man? You disrespecting me. The zone what? I'm in the zone what? You in the zone what? We going what? What's in the zone? What's the zone? What? ESPN and it's outside of the sport of boxing. That's it. They left boxing. No Showtime, no HBO, Netflix. But Netflix is only going. It's only interested in content. As much and just like I was saying when we was talking about the potential fight with David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez, and I said that that Canelo Alvarez is got to take responsibility of where boxing is at right now, because if we're gonna call Canelo Alvarez the king, then he got responsibility, right? Just like any other superstar in their respective sports is the one that brings that sport into international level, worldwide interest and things of that nature, right? Just like what Michael Jordan did for the NBA, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, what LeBron James keeps on doing, what Kobe Bryant and Allen Iverson kept on doing all over the world and stuff like that. With Tom Brady, hey yo, when I was there in overseas as well, I had the Kansas City hat, right? And I'm like, what's that? What's that hat? He like, yo, you like football? I said, no, I don't watch soccer like that. No, you don't? Wow, that's crazy. What you like? Oh, you like American football? Yo, when I was talking sports, because over there, let's say there's sport, it's not a sport culture like here in America. All they knew, you know who they knew? The only name every time that I talk about football, the only name they knew was Tom Brady. That's all they know. Tom Brady. I know Tom Brady. Yeah, Tom Brady. I know Tom Brady. That's the only thing that moved. The stars moving. Yo, when I talk about boxing, nobody talk about boxing, bro. People say Tyson Fury, and in overseas Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. They barely even know Usyk like that. Canelo. Just a couple of Muslims. They know Canelo. That's it. You say Devin Haney? Devin Haney. They don't even know how to pronounce Teofimo Lopez. I don't know what's that. They don't even know how to pronounce Teofimo Lopez. Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and Canelo. So if Terence Crawford is the best American fighter, and Canelo Alvarez is the face of boxing, then I am putting the responsibility of where boxing goes. If boxing stays alive, it's because of Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford. If boxing dies, it's because of Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford in America. Why? Because, like I just said, is Terence Crawford the leading man for American boxing? Yes or no? Do y'all agree with me? Is he the leading man fighter in American boxing? Is he the best to offer? Yes or no? Is Terence Crawford the best American fighter right now? Is Terence Crawford the best that we have to offer? Yes or no? In America? Yes or no? Tourist says big facts. If Terence Crawford is the best that we have to offer, and Canelo Alvarez is the face of boxing, right? Especially in North America, he is. He is. The world is going to be watching Netflix. The world is going to be watching. Boxing is on the map. They're going to have to perform to keep us on the map, because if they don't perform and it becomes the type of outrage that the world got on Mayweather Manny Pacquiao, boxing is finished. The networks, investors will no longer invest in boxing. I'm telling you, folks, remember, there are no investors in America for boxing anymore. It's nothing left. Even the young fighters, good wins, but they're not breathtaking. They're not giving that type of how you say it, those performances that people are just talking about it. See, that Ryan Garcia performance versus Devin Haney was huge. The type of huge that even Donald Trump wanted to meet Ryan Garcia while he's running for president. Give me a sec. Dímelo, Christian Padilla. Dímelo, Cristian. I'm sticking to Canelo winning if he doesn't run around in a circle, way too much power. Hell with the chin. It's called boxing, not WWE. So, again, I'm telling y'all, if they do not perform to the level of of its expectations, yo, because look, I think, to be honest, the May 2nd date did more damage to this era, to boxing, that we truly, that we had, that we probably admitted. We was, we was like, damn, that was a boring weekend. I think that really hurt boxing, bro. That truly hurt boxing, because how you gonna have three of the five premier young fighters of this generation in America just did not look? I say Teofimo Lopez was the one that performed the best. But even with that performance, it wasn't like, oh my God, oh shit, yo, oh my God, you need to see that. Like, it's not like you're gonna get the casuals to go rewind and see that performance again. It was just a great performance that was better than the other performance in that in that card. Devin Haney ran. Ryan Garcia didn't show up. We couldn't write that script. We couldn't write a script that it was going to be that boring with a Ryan, a Devin, and a Tio on the same card. We couldn't even write that, oh man, it's going to be a boring event. How? How two of the most exciting fighters did not captivate the imagination, the emotions of the boxing fans worldwide. And then we moved on to Canelo Alvarez versus William Skull. Thank you for Naoya Inoue to saving the day. But Naoya Inoue is in a division that the Americans really don't truly know, follow, or even the casuals could follow him the way that us hardcore boxing fans follow. That shit was bad. That week was bad for us, bro. That week was embarrassing. And then the uncertainties on when we're gonna get some great fights. Like, look at Boots. Boots a great performance versus Stanionis, and now he's gonna be fighting a guy that nobody really know. Like, what are we doing in boxing? Why are like I wouldn't like even Eddie Hearn? Like, there's got to be some guys that if you're gonna interview, if I get the chance to get immediate credentials, I'm really gonna. Why are you doing this to boxing? You know you're killing boxing? Like people gotta talk to Boots. Like, no, Boots. You YSM, ask him the fucking right question, bro. Tell him that you killing boxing, bro. You killing the momentum with these Lima fights, man. Do you care? Like, these fighters also have to care about the sport that feeds them. Just like other athletes care about their sport because it feeds them. Do you think, like, fighters, are you dumb? Do you know that because of Turkey Al Sheikh is here, but if Turkey Al Sheikh is not here, we don't even know where bots. You don't even know your own market right now. They don't even know their own market value right now. There is really no market value right now. Like, this shit is hurting like, yo, to be honest, I'm not gonna waste my Saturday to see Boots and Lima. I'm sorry, bro. If y'all want me to do the live commentary, let it be known. Let it be known. But I'm looking at this. I'm looking at October. I'm not gonna waste my Saturday for a fight that I know he's just gonna beat the crap out of him and win. I'm not doing that. I'm not pushing family to the side for that. Not at this stage of his career. Yo, it's getting to the point where boxing is fun to see the young fighters get to be a champion. Once they become a champion, that's it. Let's move on. Let's move on, because that's when the politics, that's when they become divas and shit like that, and we don't want to pay attention to them. Right? That's when you hear the complaints. The divaness, the complaints. Oh, I don't get paid this much, and no, I don't want to fight him. No, I'm the A side. You're the B side. You're the C side. You haven't done nothing. You haven't done nothing. No, your resume is not. No, you haven't fought nobody. No, you ain't fight nobody. That's when the little bickering starts. But on the come up, they want to fight anybody, right? Look at Xander Zayas. Xander Zayas was winning to fight Virgil Ortiz, right? Oh, he's winning to sign up to fight Virgil Ortiz. And now he's a champion. Oh no, you gotta fight me in Puerto Rico. No. No. N-O spells no. Yo soy boricua, para que tú lo sepas. If you want to fight me, you're going to Puerto Rico. What happened to that energy, Xander Zayas? You were signing up to Virgil Ortiz in less than 24 hours. Oh, but now you got a belt. No, you got to fight me in Puerto Rico, okay? I don't want to fight nowhere, but you ain't never even fought in Puerto Rico. When's the last time you fought in Puerto Rico that now that Virgil Ortiz has to go to Puerto Rico? Huh? You ain't said that to Virgil Ortiz the first time. Oh, now you a champion. No, you got to fight me in Puerto Rico. I don't want to go to Las Vegas. I don't want to California. I want to go to my home, Puerto Rico. Now they turn like divas, bro. Now they turn like divas. Oh, but when I wanted to fight you, you didn't want to fight me, so I don't want to fight you. Now they turn like divas, like how Earl Spence was treating like Thurman. Oh, I didn't want to fight Thurman because Thurman didn't want to fight me and stuff like that. So who you gonna fight now? Just give us a fight. Christian Padilla says, "Yo, Bud never fought a Canelo before." Facts. If this happens, what y'all gonna say? If this happens, what are y'all going to say? Do you think this image will come to fruition September 13th? What's the chances of this happening right here? He said it won't happen. But what about if it does? I don't think it's gonna happen. But I didn't think that Buster Douglas would be Mike Tyson, and I didn't think that George Kambosos was gonna be Tio, and I didn't think that Andy Ruiz was gonna be AJ. So what about if it does happen? What about if it does happen? What legacy, what type of hit Canelo Alvarez legacy will take? And I don't want people to be, no, it's not going to take no, yeah, it's going to take a hit. It is going to take a real hit. Yeah, just like Roy Jones Jr. losing Antonio Tarver. It took a motherfucking hit. I don't think people respected Roy Jones Jr. like they did after that Antonio Tarver. Roy Jones Jr. was never the same. His legacy took a huge hit, bro. Unfortunately, it took a hit, bro. It took a hit. I don't think it would take a hit for Canelo Alvarez to stop Crawford. I don't think it's gonna take a hit, but this one will take a hit, bro. It's gonna it will alter Canelo Alvarez's legacy because you know what? I'm gonna tell you right here. Listen to what I'm saying. People gonna really like if people haven't dialed into Canelo Alvarez's resume and career, they're gonna they're gonna nitpick every single fight, every single round, every single politics, everything. They're gonna be like, you know what? Canelo Alvarez is truly a overrated fighter. That's what they're gonna say. They're gonna say like who we really beat. They're gonna minimize Canelo Alvarez like they haven't minimized no other fighter since Roy Jones Jr. It's gonna be worse than Roy Jones Jr. What do you feel about what about people in the chat? What do you feel about Victor Conte on a hot seat trying to point the finger now at David Benavidez. Since a lot of people have been clamming on and been trying to suspect and question the affiliations of fighters that's with Snack and Victor Conte, like Terence Crawford, Devin Haney, and such, Victor Conte yesterday says Terence trolls fans in Snack shirts mocking PED accusations. Did you ever think that the Snack fighters who lost were clean and their opponents may have been circumventing the testing procedures? Who was the strength and conditioning coach for Benavidez? Just some food for thought and nothing more. He's talking about Angel Memo Heredia. So because they pointing the finger at Victor Conte is acting like Nino Brown in the courtroom, like my homegirl Jackie said. Victor Conte is acting like Nino Brown in the courtroom because people are the pointing the fingers at him and being suspicious of him. Now he's saying, but what about Memo? I'm telling you, like what Nino Brown said, Kareem Akbar, the educated brother from the bank. I told you if I'm going down, I'm taking a whole lot of people with me. They go there pointing the finger. But what about him? What about him? Mira, Victor Conte, mira the tigre. Little snitchy snitch. Look at you, man. You can't, Victor Conte can't handle the heat. He said he's pointing the finger. What about Memo? What about him? He's strength and conditioning coach to Erickson Lubin. He's strength and conditioning coach to David Benavidez. Why you ain't question David Benavidez when he knocked out Demis Andre? My God. Is he telling us something that we don't know? Look at these two former quote unquote dirty cheaters going at it. But if people say, yo, Punch, but you got to be fair, you know what I'm saying? You got to mention the other snack fighters. How about the other Memo fighters? The reason why we don't get on Memo is because Memo is quiet. Memo will bring attention to himself, which doesn't bring attention to his fighters. So we don't talk about David Benavidez linked to potential undetected PEDs. But now that Victor Conte raised the question like he does all the time and likes to look at everybody else and can't mind his own business and talks about his fighters and talk about other fighters and try to suspect other fighters and question. It's crazy. He don't like to be questioned or people to be suspicious of him, but he likes to put that out there. He likes to put it out there like for, oh, check out Memo. But see, put it this way, and I was thinking about this. You said you saw that I did the video, and I said, you know what? Let's lay off Victor Conte. People, these fighters that we like and we trust him. You know what? Just let's move on, whatever. But see, he treats Memo the way the boxing fans like myself and others was treating him. People are saying, "Oh, give Victor Conte a second chance. Oh, stop talking about it already. He already did. He already paid his dues." But why Victor goes at Memo like that? Why Victor don't give Memo and his dues that he paid his dues and sees the hypocrisy? He likes to point the finger at others, but he don't like the fingers to be pointed at him. But anyway, that's I already did a video. Go check the video. That was my last video that I did post. In terms of strategy, I think that Canelo Alvarez is going to get to Bud Crawford because Bud Crawford is not going to do what William Skull did. Terence Bud Crawford is there to be hit. I think that Terence Bud Crawford never been in the ring with a guy like Canelo Alvarez, but I think that Canelo Alvarez has been in the ring with guys like Bud Crawford and have other intangibles that probably Bud Crawford don't have. The combination punches, the high volume punches. Let's not forget that Bivol threw over 700 punches. I don't think that Bud Crawford throw. He don't throw like that. He doesn't oversee. The thing with Bivol and Canelo is that Bivol overwhelmed Canelo. See, even that, Bud Crawford doesn't have that. That's not his style. Bud Crawford doesn't throw 700 punches. I think that Bud Crawford haven't thrown 700 punches since he was a 135 pounder or 140. So he's not gonna move up to the 168 pound division and start throwing all these punches. That's why I can't see Bud Crawford beating Canelo. I just can't see a game plan. I can't see what strategy that is within the style of Bud Crawford that's going to beat Canelo. I don't see it. If he was younger and I'm like, okay, he's still growing as a fighter, and I'm not going to say that you can't be the best at that age because look at Alexander Usyk. He's 40 years old. You know, we look at Manny Pacquiao. He's performed. We've seen guys at that age still do great things, but I don't see it. I don't see how Bud Crawford style gonna beat Canelo. I don't think so. Bud Crawford has to go for it to win. If he could get to Jamel Charlo, he could get to Bud Crawford. Buzz. But it is what it is. Let's talk about it more. Let's see what more news tomorrow. Shout out to Moses too, the heavyweight out there in the UK, man, bringing a lot of buzz. He did beat Dillian White. Heavyweight division is good. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's a lot of fights that still could be made. Maybe a Moses and Philip Hergovich. There's a Moses and Wang Zhang. There's some good fights. Parker, he wants Parker. Tyson Fury, if he's gonna come back. Alexander Usyk, that would be a good fight as well. You know, Deontay Wilder. You know, I still want to see a lot of heavyweight in this era. I still want to see these matchups. Well, anyway, let me know what y'all think, man. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. Tomorrow we back at it at a respectable time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Love y'all. God bless, and on to the next.